Hi there. Happy Travel Tuesday. Happy New Year, Ryan.
Happy New Year is right. Our first Travel Tuesday of the new year, January 3rd, and we're off and running for a new year, Elizabeth.
We sure are. And, unfortunately, we've just put a lot behind us, the storm. And we just want to make sure that everyone knows our thoughts are with everyone who suffered through that storm, who's still recovering and grieving losses from that storm. And then after last night's Buffalo Bills game that obviously did not go as planned, we want to make sure everyone knows our thoughts are with Mr. Hamlin, the entire Bills organization, and all the Bills Mafia out there. That was really, hard to see yesterday.
Very hard to see. And, what a wonderful outpouring. We say the city of good neighbors. I have to tell you, the outpouring of just concern and prayers, not only from Buffalo and Western New York, but from Cincinnati, the whole city there as well. And folks just contributing to his charity. It really is just there are so many positive thoughts and prayers going his way. We really hope and pray for the best outcome.
That's for sure. Yeah. And I know you and I both have talked about this and, sending our good thoughts and prayers for everything positive. A lot of positivity is what we're wishing for out there. And hopefully that's what we'll see throughout 2023.
Absolutely. With the click of a calendar and, a turn of the page, it's not only a new month, it's a new year. So we have really, great plans for this year at AAA in our growth and in travel and insurance and all our business lines. We're really excited of the plans we have for this year and, hope that we can continue to make membership such a value for our members as well.
Right. Yeah, excited about the new year to come. And also, just so people know, bracing for some changes possibly with gas prices. Right now, the national average did go up. Local prices mostly are down by a couple cents, but that gas tax holiday has expired, where New York State was limiting some of the gas taxes. So that's something that we might see fluctuate or increase prices in coming days. So they might go up a few cents, just so people are aware of that.
Yeah, I guess the good news is even in the height of it in the summer, we saw that people really wanted to fulfill their plans and get where they were going, and maybe altered it a little bit, but not drastically. So hopefully the holiday couple weeks, at least in Western New York, were very different from what I think people planned. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day maybe was celebrated a week later. Maybe it hasn't been celebrated yet. So people are still going to want to get together and, with family and certainly enjoy time together at some point.
Yeah, we saw a lot of holiday gatherings over this weekend, New Year's and holidays combined, and we know we'll have more celebrations coming. We'll see how that on social media throughout the weekends in January as people try to make sure they get that cherished time with loved ones. And Brian, it's also a time to think about where you're going in 2023, but also some lessons learned from some airline disruptions, unfortunately, that some people saw over the holidays.
Yeah, there definitely were a lot of disruptions. In my 40 years in the travel business, I don't ever remember the Buffalo airport being closed as long as it was. So that was very challenging for holiday travelers that were going to a warm water destination for a week's vacation or whatever. But at the end of the day, I think that we had some family coming in and firsthand information. Having that app on your phone is so important because the folks that were coming into Buffalo, they always got a push notification of a cancellation. Their flight was automatically rebooked. And if they didn't like that particular flight that was chosen, they could choose something else. So, that communication in itself was good. Some airlines will allow you to, on your app, book an alternate city. So, for example, if Buffalo was the destination, they might allow you to choose Rochester or quite possibly Syracuse. Some airlines don't leave that flexibility totally in the hands of the app. However, in calling the airline, as I did on behalf of this person coming into Buffalo, we were able to get him into Rochester much earlier than he could have gotten into Buffalo. So it really, communication, being aware, it's really, really important. But the airlines did as best job they could. The flights are full. these 2 weeks of the year. They did a good job at trying to, reaccommodate as best. And you know what? In the end, if your flight was canceled, not that you wanted this, but if you didn't get to your destination, you did get a full refund. You are entitled to a full refund if your flight is canceled and they can't get you there. So, that's really key as well.
Right, right. And of course, Southwest had a lot of problems, more so than other airlines with their system that couldn't handle so many changes, and that shut down. They're recovering from that, and they continue to promise the federal government they're going to make good on this. So just a reminder to everyone, if you have receipts from food or lodging or anything, just hold on to that, because they're going to examine each circumstance and see what reimbursement travelers might be able to get. So that's something that you may be entitled to.
And absolutely, Elizabeth, that is one of the first in that realm as well, that an airline has offered, to provide receipts. I know somebody that did it, and they actually got it processed. It was within just a couple-hour period. It was approved, and the refund is on its way. So it is a legitimate thing that Southwest wants to make good, and hopefully their computer systems will be upgraded so they won't have this challenge as well. Two other things I really want to just mention about traveling. We've talked about it all December, Elizabeth. If you can do carry-on luggage, that's the key. So your luggage isn't displaced. If there's an option to change, if you have it in your hand, it is so much easier to make a change. But also, this comes with, I think we've all seen on the news, sea of missed luggage, displaced luggage, lost luggage in
That's
some
what
of
I
the
was just going to
larger
say. In
airports.
airports across the country, just mounds
Absolutely.
and mounds of suitcases.
Absolutely. So one of the recommendations is, if your suitcase or your luggage never gets back to you, and the airlines try to work as hard as they can to do that, you should always take a picture of the contents of your luggage. Should you need to make an insurance claim on your lost luggage, if you have photos of the belongings that were in it, it helps that process so much better. So that's a tip that people should really look at. And we've seen on the news, there were people complaining about medication and so forth. Everyone tells you, don't pack medication in your checked luggage.
Right.
Carry it on. So those things, if we can all pay attention to that, will make the process smoother for sure.
Right. And you have used those actual luggage tags where you can see on your phone where your luggage is actually located.
Absolutely. So it's I have the Apple AirTag, and I mean there's other brands, but you can see with the app on your phone exactly where your luggage is within an airport complex. On a recent trip, my luggage missed a connection. I could see where it was in the airport waiting to be sent to the hotel, and actually on the little map I could see it moving with the vehicle driving to the hotel on a geo map. So I'm not sure that the airlines love it, because it creates, the passenger knows more information on a misplaced piece of luggage. However, it could also help them in also finding it and identifying where that is. So I look at it as a win-win. But some people have gotten them and absolutely love them when they travel.
Yeah, that's pretty cool technology to be able to see that.
It really is. Absolutely. Well, it's similar to on a roadside service call for AAA, right? When you do that on the app, and we encourage everyone to use the app, you can see when the service vehicle is on its way to you.
Yeah. And that system works great, and it gives people peace of mind to know, okay, they're right around the corner. I can see it's going to be a few more minutes or whatever the situation may be.
Absolutely. So, but it couldn't be Travel Tuesday without mentioning some travel specials. I mean, we really we have a new year and a new outlook, right? So we all want to plan for that vacation. In fact, in a few weeks, we have National Plan for Vacation Day, right? So we'll talk about.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say. We'll be talking about that in a few weeks. So keep in mind, you want to make sure you plan now for vacations throughout the year and beyond.
Absolutely. So I'll throw a few teasers out. We'll definitely be talking about it more as we ramp up to National Plan for Vacation Day. But, many people throughout this, crazy weather season around the holidays rented a car. And so they drove to their destination. And Hertz has a January promotion right now of 15% off the base rate for booking dates through the end of January to use the vehicle through the end of February. So
Okay.
if you're looking for that weekend getaway or that little, midwinter getaway, whether you want to go up to the Adirondacks and ski or something, if you don't want to take your vehicle, that's a great promotion with Hertz. And of course, I always say it, all the other benefits of a AAA member with the free extra driver, the infant car seat. There's so many benefits that come with Hertz and complimentary gold service as well.
Yeah, definitely handy. And we saw a lot of people, unfortunately, driving to their destinations if their flight was disrupted over the holidays or when the airport was closed. A lot of people drove down south or out west because they really wanted to get there, and that was their only option at the time.
Well, if they needed to get on that cruise ship and they couldn't fly out of Buffalo, they got in a car. We did have members and travelers that actually drove to Florida to get on that cruise vacation. So when there's a will, there's a way, right? And we help them get there as best, the best mode that we can. So
hey, it's worth it if you ask me, is to get on that cruise ship. You don't want it to set sail without you.
I would agree. And speaking of cruises, some of our promotions, as we talked about, cruising being so popular, Celebrity is continuing their biggest offer actually through March 1st. So 75% off second guest and up to 800 additional savings per stateroom, plus some other added benefits. So there's some really good promotions right now with Celebrity. And one of your favorites, Royal Caribbean, has a 30% off every guest, kids sail free, and up to $550 instant savings. Now that promotion ends Monday, so you have almost a week left, but that promotion is valid on sailings departing after the 4th of February of this year, all sailing. So those are some really great opportunities.
Next thing you know, you'll be kicking back, having a perfect day at Coco Cay.
I was waiting for it. I knew it would come. That's good. And then, right now is when people start to think about Europe, and Ireland has been really a year-round destination, but there's a really great promotion right now with CIE Tours, 2-for-1 airfare on new bookings. This is on new bookings through the 31st of January. You buy one airfare, you get the second one free on selected Ireland, Scotland, England, and Wales guided vacations. That is really, really a great deal. There are certain travel dates that apply with it, but that's a wonderful, wonderful deal. And Ireland has been so popular.
The luck of the Irish. There you go. Might as well plan it now and have something to toast about when March 17th comes around.
Absolutely. So, those are just a couple things going on, but we'll get into a lot more as we ramp up to plan for National Plan for Vacation Day.
That's right. And our show is on for 2023. So you'll still catch Talking AAA on the Big WEC every Saturday morning at 8:30. And of course, the podcast is right online as well. So you can follow along and get all your travel tips right there too.
Absolutely. Some new information every week, not only on travel, but all things AAA.
Yeah. And Brian, we have to say we wrapped up the year, like we said, with the busy storm and everything. But, your team, all the travel agents, they were helping people around the clock with any disruptions. And we also want to thank our roadside heroes that were out there and our helpers that came from Syracuse to help with the storm cleanup. So it was definitely a challenging and end of 2022 and an interesting one. But we made through it. And, it was nice to see all the teamwork right here at AAA.
I have to tell you, it is one big family and every department helps out when we have, crisis and issues, everyone, all hands on deck. And we really saw that. And, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, all of that. We had so many people helping out. And, that's what we do. That's what we're here. That's what we're all about at AAA.
Yeah, and if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join the team, AAA.com/careers. We have a lot of career opportunities posted there. And, we're always looking for some new people to join us. So it is a great place to work.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks so much for joining us for our first Travel Tuesday of 2023. And we'll see you back here next week.
Happy New Year, everybody.